Are you going through a spiritual awakening and feeling alone? Have you lost friends and family along the way? Are you wondering if it will always be like this? During my own spiritual awakening, I lost my best friend, my husband, and almost all of my close family, so I know what it feels like to be lonely during spiritual awakening. You have this crazy thing happening to you, and at the same time you're cast adrift. All those social structures you used to rely on are gone, and it's easy to feel abandoned and alone. But don't worry, I promise it's not forever. There's good reasons why you lose friends and family during spiritual awakening, as I'll explain in this video. Hi everyone, I'm Sophia Persephone and I'm a channel for the Council of Light. In my videos I share everything they've been teaching me for the past few years. In this particular video I'm going to explain why you lose friends during spiritual awakening and the stages of awakening when it's most likely to happen. Most videos on this subject will just tell you that you need to move on from people because you've grown and they haven't, and that is part of the truth, but it's not the whole story, as I'm going to explain now. Okay, so let's flip this question on its head. Let's ask not why you're losing friends and family, but why were they there in the first place? Before you incarnate on Earth, you make a plan for your life, and you make this plan in conjunction with other souls, because no one's an island, right? You need people to take this journey with you. So who are these other souls? They come from 4 main groups, which are as follows. Group 1 is your soul family, people who descend from the same branch of the soul family tree as you do. Group 2 is your soul group. These are people you've worked with before in life after life, and you've been teamed up with them because you have complementary skills. These people are hardly ever from the same branch of the soul family tree as you, but they are people that you love and you trust. Group 3 is people you share karma with. These are people you either owe or who owe you from previous lives. You incarnate together in subsequent lives, so you have an opportunity to redress the balance. And group 4 is people that the opposing team in the game of life have positioned around you to try to prevent you achieving your mission. I'll link you to another video that explains more about the game of life. So surprisingly, the people closest to you are hardly ever from your soul family. That's because you tend to be similar. So in terms of making sure your group has a good mix of skills, it doesn't make too much sense to pair you up. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's the minority. The people who are closest to you tend to come from the other 3 groups. So you can already see something interesting here. Just because you're close to someone in this earthly dimension doesn't mean you're close to one another at soul level. It may be that there's karma to repay, or they're a malicious actor whose intention is to throw you off course. And in these cases, it's guaranteed that they only ever intended to stick around until they'd done what they came to do. This is true even of parents. In fact, it can be especially true of parents. I'm conducting a survey of spiritual awakeners right now, and so far a staggering 89% say they had a difficult relationship with at least one parent. So that's an indication that that parent may well have been placed in their environment by a team wanting to throw them off track. Does that sound familiar? Please let me know in the comments. People who are going through spiritual awakenings are also often paired with keepers. That's the term used in the higher dimension. A keeper provides a stable environment while the awakener is going through the early to mid stages of awakening, usually up until or just after the spiritual dark night of the soul. Now, they're often a partner, and this relationship usually breaks down in the later stages of awakening, even if you've been together for a long time and you used to be madly in love. Keepers often come from outside of your closest soul group, and they have karma to repay. That's one of the reasons why, as you progress through your awakening, you often start to see your partner with completely new eyes and realize that maybe you don't have so much in common after all. And it's really common for romantic partnerships to end when one half is going through a spiritual awakening. This can also be the case with a good friend. They can help you up to a point and then you drift apart. All of this is intended. These people were only ever planned to be with you for a specific period of time during your journey. They're repaying karma, or they're part of an opposing team. Maybe they're a member of your soul group or family who was there to help you with something in particular. particular, but when the time is right for you to move apart, even in that instance, the universe will make it increasingly difficult for you to remain close. It can engineer arguments and rifts or make one party, including yourself, behave badly, so the relationship breaks down seemingly irretrievably. Now, if this has happened to you, try not to feel sad about it or guilty if you feel you could have done more to save the relationship, because you couldn't. It was planned for you to move on. Now, the longer you try to preserve the relationship, the worse things will get. So one way or another, the universe is going to split you up. You can think of groups of souls working together on a mission or within a life as a series of giant cogs turning. These social circles are dynamic, things change, and that's correct, it's how it's supposed to be, because your needs change during your journey, and therefore you need different types of people at different times to support you. So how does the universe know that it's time for you to move away from these people? Well, this is where the idea of growth comes in. During your awakening, you've done a lot of work on yourself, and you're also integrating with your higher self, which has raised your vibrations, and like calls to like. So as your vibrations increase and the vibrations of those around you stay the same, there's a dissonance. The frequencies are no longer harmonious, and the universe is always seeking harmony and balance. So it's going to steer you towards people and situations which are more aligned to your energetic pattern. All of this feels very difficult because the human part of ourselves likes stability and it resists change. But if you take a really good look at these relationships you've lost, you'll often see that you weren't giving each other what you needed by the end. So it's better for you to both go your separate ways. In a moment, I'm going to explain why losing friends during spiritual awakening is a good thing. But firstly, if this video is useful to you, please hit the like button so it has the chance to get to more people. Thank you. Okay, so why is losing friends good? Leaving relationships behind that you've outgrown does three very important things. Firstly, it allows you to isolate during the deepest throes of your awakening, and it seems counterintuitive that losing friends during your awakening could be a good thing because we feel like we need extra support. But in fact, during the connection stage, the spiritual dark night of the soul, and the first part of the advanced learning stage, isolation is really important. Your vibrational rate is going up and down like a yo-yo, and it doesn't stabilize until the later part of the advanced learning stage. So this makes you super sensitive to other people and the external environment. You also have a very different understanding of the universe and what our lives are supposed to be like here on Earth. You realize we're all one, everything is founded in love, but the majority of people around you haven't caught up to that idea yet. And when you're in this unstable state, which occurs in these three middle stages of awakening, that can be upsetting. So being isolated at this time is actually a blessing in disguise. Plus, you need to rest a lot. Your system is being upgraded, so sleep is vital. So again, being removed from your usual social circles makes space for you to focus on self-care. The second reason that losing friends during your awakening is beneficial is because it allows you to focus on discovering your purpose, and that means turning inwards. You need to understand who you are fundamentally as a person. You need to dig deep into your soul nature and uncover some of your past life history so you can work out why you came. Now, you have to remember that these other people around you are not waking up. They're just getting on living their lives in a human way. But you will have reached a stage where you don't want to go to the pub or stop for a burger or go to the club because you understand that these are just temporary pleasures which don't contribute anything to your purpose. And in the mid to late stages of awakening, you become very purpose driven. So being able to leave all of those distractions behind allows you to focus. And by the way, it's really important that we don't fall into the trap of feeling that we're better than other people because we have this newfound awareness. We're not better, we're just on a different type of journey. The third reason it's helpful to lose friends in awakening is that you're making room for new ones. In fact, you've probably observed that you've become closer to a couple of people who were previously only on the outskirts of your circle of friends since your awakening. These are members of your soul group who were lurking in the wings, waiting for you to be ready for them, and it's never the people you think. They may well be also going through a spiritual awakening, or at least be spiritually minded, or perhaps you've made a couple of new friends who are much more vibrational vibrationally aligned to you. And if you haven't met them yet, they're just around the corner. Perhaps they've made an approach, but you didn't follow up. The universe rarely leaves us completely isolated. It almost always makes sure that there's someone to support us at every stage of the journey, unless it's teaching us a lesson about being alone or self-sufficiency. Now, sometimes there's a bit of a crossover period when old friends have fallen away, but the new ones haven't arrived yet. And that feels particularly hard, especially because this extraordinary thing is happening to you and you have no one you feel you can share it with. So what can you do if you've lost friends and family and new people haven't arrived in your life yet? First of all, have faith. Believe that the universe has your back and that you will find your true tribe soon. Secondly, put it out there. Ask the universe to send you that support. If you're awakening, you're a powerful manifester, so this is an opportunity to test your skills. Thirdly, use your situation as an opportunity to understand how this all works. When you look back at the relationships you've lost, can you see patterns? Was there karma there? Learning how to interpret the dynamics between yourself and the people you meet on your journey will help you in the future. And I promise you, however much it hurts now, one day you'll be able to look back and see that everything happened exactly as it was supposed to.